And to your question, Alicia, when the sensors go off on my property at night, I don't know if it's someone who's been inspired to violence by Donald Trump showing up to do my family harm, or if it's government agents.
Yeah, there's plenty enough in this country already to keep someone up at night, but your alarm system being triggered by a bunch of violent goons, either sent or inspired by the president's actions, should never be one of them. Or at least it shouldn't in real America, but we unfortunately live in Trump's America, a country where our nation's leader is on a national revenge tour against our citizens, our institutions, universities, legal firms, and even our own Justice Department and former national security officers. And today, one of those former national security officials and his anti-Trump organization are going viral for fighting back against Trump's vengeful tyranny and supporting and inspiring others to do the same. And this is an organization we should all join and get behind, because every single one of us has the potential to be targeted by President Trump like Miles Taylor has here. And as we all know, there is strength in numbers. So smash that like button and subscribe to Really American to join our growing anti-Trump resistance. All right, as I mentioned, Miles Taylor here used to be a Trump administration official who was whistleblowing from inside under an anonymous pseudonym that he only got rid of recently.
We are in a moment that will test democracy for the ages. Those words are from the man who, without even identifying himself at first, dropped a political bombshell in the form of a warning to the country about Donald Trump that resonates to this hour on this day. We are talking about the former Trump official who, for a time, was known as Anonymous, Miles Taylor. Today, he is filing a complaint asking the Inspectors General of the Department of Homeland Security and the Department of Justice to investigate the legality of the executive order levied against him. Taylor and former Trump cybersecurity chief Chris Krebs, they committed the sin in Donald Trump's eyes of saying that the 2020 election was the, quote, most secure in history. The executive order revoked their security clearances and tasked officials with investigating both Miles Taylor and Chris Krebs. According to Miles Taylor, the complaints are a test case to see whether independent watchdogs like the IG's offices are still actually independent, or whether they too have been taken off the playing field and co-opted and corrupted by Donald J. Trump, something Taylor has now been warning about publicly at pretty high cost to himself for 7 years. When he first wrote an op-ed in the New York Times as Anonymous, Taylor said Trump was amoral and impetuous, adversarial, petty, and anti-democratic. His comments that Trump cabinet members had discussed invoking the 25th Amendment had the entire country, or at least yours truly, Googling exactly how the 25th Amendment would work. It was, without a doubt, a political earthquake. Watch.
Day 594 of the Trump administration brings a first-person takedown of a president anonymously and in print, as this president is fond of saying, the likes of which we have never seen before.
In a stunning and unprecedented move, the New York Times is publishing a shocking anonymous op-ed from a senior Trump administration official.
The people closest to the president of the United States are sending flashing red warning signals to the American people about the danger this man poses to the nation.
Perhaps you can see the steam emerging from the White House at the moment. Reportedly, Donald Trump's response to all of this has been volcanic, nothing less.
Yeah, and while that joke may have been funny 30 years ago in 2018, unfortunately, Trump's rage and dementia hasn't allowed him to forget his enemies, but instead to enact vengeful retaliation on them and their families.
Look, I think he wants to create a modern blacklist and have that blacklist ruin people's lives. Because it's a lot of effort to go through with trying to pursue and prosecute hundreds of your enemies. Yeah. All you need to do is try to successfully do that to a couple to send a message. And that's what some of his officials have said is the point of these executive orders against me and Chris Krebs are to send a message. And to a certain extent, that works. I mean, in the immediate wake of this, I'm the sole income earner in my household. I had to leave my job. My wife, who stayed at home with our daughter, had to return to work so that we can buy diapers, so we can buy formula, so we can pay the mortgage. We had to go launch a legal defense fund because we don't think we can pay for the legal bills for this type of thing. And then there's the security threats, which I know you're all too familiar with, but you get crazies coming out of the woodwork from the MAGA side who will dox you and your family members and send threatening messages, and you never know which one of those is going to become the real thing. I'll add to that, Nicole. Someone told us relatively recently, you guys need to go update your last will and testament to name a guardian for your daughter. I will tell you, that's not something you take lightly when you're sitting there with your wife and a lawyer signing documents to name a guardian in case the worst happens, because we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, great job, MAGA crazies. Way to really prove who the violent ones are. But that interview was from 4 months ago, and then yesterday he went back on MSNBC to announce the organization that he had set up, and from just this interview clip alone, he got tens of thousands of Americans to sign up for Defiance.org, which I'll allow him to explain what it is for you now.
As Donald Trump continues with his sweeping obsession of retaliation and retribution and mounting daily threats against anyone who dares to dissent, anyone who dared to try to hold him accountable, Americans have made it clear that they will not accept doing nothing about it. Millions of Americans turned out in a massive and peaceful way this month in thousands of cities and small towns for one of the largest single-day protests ever in American history. But there's still that feeling. I'm sure all of you ask it and talk about it in your daily lives. I hear it every day. What else can we do about it to defy what we're seeing, to defy what feels wrong, and defy the lawlessness of what we see playing out? Starting today, there's an answer. There's a new way to find some of those answers. And this is brand new, an exclusive announcement right here about the launch of an effort called Defiance.org. It is a coalition of national security veterans, whistleblowers, and pro-democracy leaders providing monthly updates and simplified direction on how you might choose to push back peacefully, lawfully, and defiantly against presidential abuses of power. Already, the first wave of former government officials have signed onto their new Declaration of Defiance, a nationwide mutual aid pact to defend any group targeted by Donald Trump's retribution. Joining us now to talk about it, the head of one of the organizations partnering to launch Defiance.org, the CEO of Represent Us, Maria McFarland Sanchez Moreno, and the group's co-founder, Miles Taylor, is still here with us. So why did you do this?
Look, after, as you know, Nicole, I got attacked by the president in April. I had a lot of wonderful people coming out of the woodwork to say, how can we help you? And I'm lucky. My family got taken care of. We've got the best legal team in America. We've got great supporters. But my concern was there was not the infrastructure to go protect other people and organizations as the Trump revenge campaign ramped up. And there's a lot of good ways to get involved. The protests, other nonprofit groups, but people feel adrift because this administration is flooding the zone with actions. And there is no one organization that can fix it. And so I keep getting asked, what can I do? And I got frustrated that there wasn't just one place people could go that's constantly giving new recommendations. And so we launched Defiance.org. And that word means a lot to me because literally that word really turned things in my and my wife's head when we were thinking about fighting back. A lot of people told us to lay low. Lawyers, friends, family said, do not punch back because the risks of retaliation will go up. But if we don't fight back, the risks of retaliation against other people are much higher. So we've launched Defiance to be that place. We call it a club for courageous Americans, and we use it to highlight the great groups out there people can get involved in and specific actions they can take to push back against the president's unprecedented revenge campaign in this country.
So as I mentioned, the link to Defiance.org is down in the description below. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe while you're there. But this is what it looks like. What can I do? We built a club to answer that question. Each month, we give you options to fight back peacefully, lawfully, and defiantly against Trump's authoritarian takeover. You choose what missions to support, then we take action together. Seems pretty cool. You sign the Declaration. No American president should be allowed to use the White House for political retaliation. Seems pretty fucking reasonable, I would say. Join the club. You can become a member. You can donate here. It looks like it's free to sign up. And then you just get information. You're supporting independent media, which you can do here as well. Speak out, call Congress. And it seems like they send you information about different organizations, different things that are going on, and potentially even provide resources for, if you find yourself in a situation where Donald Trump is coming after you, which we very may will here at Really American. So this is actually a really useful tool. And I will say, it is insane to me where we have come to at Really American in the year and a half since we've started on YouTube, maybe a little more. Like, I never thought we would be here. I never thought I would be doing this. I never thought I'd have 830,000 of you guys along for the ride with the resistance, and that I would be interviewing governors and talking to hundreds of thousands of people on a daily basis, building this community. And obviously, if you're here, you're subscribed, we like to have fun. We're opinionated. We're not the golden standard of journalism, so to speak, but we're never going to bullshit you. I say all this because it's kind of my goal at this point with what we have to be able to get recognized by someone in this administration. Obviously, it would be for bad reasons, right? They wouldn't like me calling Donald Trump the pedo president. And probably, likely, as we grow, we will take on increased legal liability, and I gotta watch the shit that I say. I'm actually doing, let's call it pre-production for a video idea that I have down the line, where I am DMing the White House Instagram page every day and sending them really bad Donald Trump memes, just roasting him. And so in, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks or a month, I'm gonna make a video that says, like, I DM'd the White House for 15 days straight. Here's how it goes. But that's really fucking funny, and at the same time, probably putting my status in jeopardy. I don't know. I mean, if they see it coming from my personal Instagram account, they're probably going to try and fuck me. Just like they already have fucked a ton of people, Miles Taylor included, or probably eventually you all as well. People are getting sent back to their countries because they have baby JD Vance memes on their phones. It is fucking wild times, which is why it has never been more important to have an established community, to reach out, to make friends with people, to use resources like defiance.org here and tell other people about them so that they know where to go if and when these terrible things start to happen to them. Anyway, thank you for listening to the rant. Thank you for supporting us here at Really American. Thank you for supporting defiance.org if you so choose to do so. The more of us that can collectively come together with resources to fight back against Donald Trump, the better we all are. Anyway, that is all I got for you today, folks. Love yo faces. My name is Kenny Hesse for Really American, and I will see you guys in the next one.